All right. How are we doing tonight? This is the Sunday show. It's on Tuesday. I know that you are wondering, like, what the fuck? But I would say this is that for those that did not get the memo, and not sure how many people I did tell this to, but after the game on Sunday, I was at a charity function, which was put on by one of the wonderful ladies that I know from the Raiders for years and years, is Jenny Hamilton. And Jenny, along with this other gentleman, this British gentleman, they put on this show. And I apologize. I got it in my phone somewhere. I got his name. But in fact, you know what? I want to make sure I give him fair credit. Let's see here. It is, if I get the photos correct, it is, his name is, I'll get it. Okay. Huh. Okay. Andrew Cannon. There we go. I wanted to make sure I got that out. Andrew Cannon, along with Jenny Hamilton, did a fundraiser for EQ Joy. It's a foundation that helps out young adults that have some mental issues and difficulties. So that was at like 6 o'clock Pacific time, which is right at 9 o'clock Eastern time, which is when the show normally runs. And it took me a while to get out there. So, because it did take a while, and it was, I wasn't even done with the festivities till well after that there was no show Sunday. And then, as many of you know, on Monday, I'm flying back. And I said, maybe if I get back in time, I'll have a show, depending upon where I am. But yeah, I wasn't back at the right time. So yeah. So Sunday shows tonight. Now, I obviously, if you're watching on this channel, and I'm not sure if it's still on or not, but I was on Coach's show earlier. A lot of good discussion there. Myself and Coach, defense, and Alex Givens and Robert, the real RG, Coach Dub, Violator was on there with me, talking about various NFL issues. But I wanted to try to give the ability to discuss the show and the game from this past Sunday. Now, I'm not sure who is watching. I know that we got one of the Facebooks up, and I got my YouTube up, and also on X. If you have any comments about what you saw, to include the fact that our offense looked so much more dynamic than it has in the past, with the addition of what? Brock Bowers. And how, had the Raiders rested Brock Bowers immediately after he was hurt in New England, they might have had him for the Kansas City game. And how different, I don't know, maybe if the entire game would have been different, but we wouldn't have been totally embarrassed and got goose egged, boat raced, and totally embarrassed by the Kansas City Chiefs, in Kansas City. Hey, Cool, how you doing, brother? Hey, at least I know Cool Kev's here. Thank you for that. Brock Bowers shows how much better we play as an offense. And it's night and day. If the offensive line was just a modicum better, I wouldn't say a little bit better, but I mean a lot better, but yes, a bit better, we would have a line that upholds. We would be able to use Ashton Jeanty more. And for those that are bitching and complaining that it's Chip Kelly's offense, he sucks. Well, you saw what the capabilities were with a Raiders offense that could score 4 touchdowns. Now, granted, we missed an extra point and we missed the 2-point conversion, which led to 29 points. But it was still 4 touchdowns. Am I wrong on that? Okay, I know Brock Bowers had 3. Did Carlson kick 2 field goals? I don't know. I just remember that it was at least a 4 touch. It was a 30-point encounter. But we missed the 2 points. We missed the 1 point. So it's just, I don't know. And that's a good question as well there, because I was talking about that kind of in what I was saying. I want to see more of BECH and Thornton. But Bachman and Lockett, yeah. I think it's going to be a combination of all of that. Because Pete is not a rookies guy. He's not. And Thornton needs work. I was praising, and I still praise Thornton for what he can do in a real offense, but he needs more reps in practice along with other things. But we know what we got in Lockett. Lockett wanted to be here. Jacobi Myers didn't. So we got Lockett, and that's going to be a great addition because he's a vet that will actually perform and be a leader in the wide receiver room. Jacobi Myers was not that guy. He was not that guy. And so more power to him. If he gets paid, great, good for him. It's not our problem anymore. But we got a 4 and a 6, which is awesome. You get the availability to have the younger guys come in and play more. Thornton and BECH. Plus we got Lockett. And I think Lockett, well, Raider Man says he's washed. I don't think he's washed. Now, granted, I haven't seen all the film on him from this year. He didn't really do a lot with the Titans, but I just think that's the Titans that don't really know what to do with him because Cam Ward was not a – well, okay, you saw how Cam Ward was when we played him a couple weeks ago. I was going to say, Raider Man, that play happened right in front of me. My portion of the end zone. And I didn't really see Lockett open because Lockett was on the far side. He was on the Jaguar side open. And I'm on the Raiders side of that corner of the end zone. So I'm watching Jacobi Myers open. He had his defensive back was trailing him. He was open. So I said, fuck, Myers was open. I didn't even see Lockett until I saw the breakdowns from everybody else. Tyler Lockett was so wide open he could have had a ham sandwich, a sub, and a blowjob by one of the chicks in Vegas before he could have, would have lost the ball. He was wide open. Yes, Jack Kenna, I am live. Yes, I am live. Live. And I agree with Cool Kev. Thornton needs to work on routes, but he also needs to work on body. He needs to work on building up the body because he's got the capabilities to mass out. Working with Moss, working with Chris Carter, that would be great. But he needs work on the fundamentals. And I think that he did. Was it at Oregon? Or was it Washington State? It was one of those schools in the Pacific Northwest where he actually played well. And then he went to Tennessee and they said, run a 9 route. Just run. We'll catch. We'll throw it to you. You catch the ball. Which is unfortunate that they didn't work him out much there. But he needs some work. And I think we'll be able to do that. Yeah, Jack, I was there on Johnny's channel because I did this show with Coach. I thought I was supposed to be on Johnny's show tonight, so I'm not gonna beg out of Coach's show unless I know I'm on Johnny's show. And then I said, well, you know what? I am going to do my show that was from Sunday. And yeah, if there's only a couple people here, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to talk. Anybody that's here, we're going to talk and like it and share it up and say, hey, Captain's talking about this Sunday game. And I know it's already Tuesday night. We're already on to Thursday. Little bit of a promo. Tomorrow night, I will be on with Jeff Barnes and Anitha Barnes, and we'll be doing advertisements and promotions for the Raider Cruise in the spring. It's a cruise for charity cruise. Check it out tomorrow night, the Raider Cruise. So it'll be on tomorrow night, 9:00, normal time, 9:00. Was I supposed to do another show tomorrow? Oh, I know what it was. The Thursday show might be on earlier because the 9:00 show is on 9:00. I think maybe I will have Raider Fester on at 7:00 Eastern. I will see. I will make sure that that's a go. So I know that's early for you West Coasters, but maybe, we'll talk about what we saw on the game on Sunday and what we project to see on the game on Thursday. So we got the Broncos in Denver, and it's November. It's not going to be warm. I didn't check the weather reports. Because I fly out on Friday for Green Bay. I don't like cold weather, but I'm going to go to what portends to be a fantastic game when the Eagles come in to play the Packers on Monday night. And I'm going to visit some friends. Actually, technically, Steampunk's sister and her family, and we're going. Oh, I gotta see if there's any. Let me do that now. Let's see here. Lambeau Tours. Lambeau Tours. Yeah, at least I put it so I did that look. So here it is. If there's any tours available, I'll book it after this game or after this show. The Mile High Massacre Were you talking about the one where the Raiders had like about 28 points in the first quarter? I remember Darren McFadden had a long touchdown because that's, I remember that Mile High massacre. So if you're talking about the reverse of that, so that we get our asses kicked, I'm hoping it's not bad. Yeah, Navman, the Zach Miller game. Yeah, I think so. And Darren McFadden scored quite a bit on that. Navman, I mean, it might be unimpressive, but it is history. It's like I've got a chance to go to Fenway, or sorry, not Fenway. I got a chance to go to Wrigley. I want to go to Fenway. I missed the chance to go to Yankee Stadium. I finally went to Dodger Stadium last year. By the way, fuck the Dodgers. I said it. But, you see things that are historical, and Lambeau is historical. So, yeah. What Denver don't want to remember in the last 10 games, the Raiders are okay. Actually, now what is it? It's not last 10 games because they've beaten us. Well, okay, maybe you are correct. So we were 8-0 and they finally won 2 last year. So this is the first this year. Okay, so yeah. Took them years to finally beat us. But that's a great stat. So if it is the Lambeau, or sorry, the Mile High Massacre, I'd like for it to be the oh my God, we fucking won game. By the way, it's unsweet tea, and the like the sparkling ice. So kind of like a Arnold Palmer that's not so sweet. I just, we'll see, because I've been trying not to put sugar in my drinks, and we'll see if that helps with the weight. So, yeah. And good to see you in here, Nav, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know. I've been to Lambeau Field for the game. Trying to think. Did I go? No, because I was there once for a game, and then I was there for the draft. And I think we go back. I think we go back to Green Bay the next time, I think. But I want to get the tour out of the way. And a lot of 12 personnel. 1 back, 2 tight ends, and 2 wide receivers. I mean, hell, I would say even run 13 is with 3 tight ends, right? Why not? Why not? Have 80, and I can't remember, Thomas, right? Ian Thomas, I think that's his name. So let's have him being in the game as well. Broncos on pace to break the all-time record for sacks. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, can I get it? Let's surprise. I mean, I remember, what was it? The game was it the car to, God, boy, this brings back memories. The Derek Carr to Devontae Adams overtime winner, which was right in front of me in Denver. That was the last time I was in Denver. It was great walking out of the stadium a winner. Oh, is Patrick Surtain out? Wow. I didn't really realize. I haven't been up on the I haven't been up on the who's in and who's out. Oh, Desmond Watson's on screen. I know his mom. That's the guy that he's about with a hamburger short of 500 pounds. Nice kid. Good. Mom's really cool too. So yeah, I would like to see that if they screw up and double Bowers with Surtain out, man, that would be great. Would be great to throw it in the face of Bronco fans that the Raiders won. How many picks Gino going to throw? Yeah, I would say at least one. I would say at least one. And now up to Greenlaw. Okay, well, okay. Then if the Broncos are down Surtain, they got another decent corner on the other side. I can't remember his name. But the fact that Patrick Surtain is out, then I would say the Raiders have it's 50-50 anyway, right? It's better than 50-50 that maybe the Raiders can actually score. The Denver offense hasn't okay, talk to me. Is the Denver offense really impressive? I don't think so. I'm kind of maybe short-sighted there. But it's been, can the Raiders play offense and can the Raiders defense not fuck things up? Why go 13? That just means overshoot on screen, start running backs. Moss cannot tackle a running back. I was gonna say, isn't 13 with the 3 tight ends? I'd do that. And yes, you are right. Denver only plays good in the third quarter. Okay. Well, and that reminds me, I definitely have to do balance my checkbook tonight. Anyway, yeah, Desmond, but he still needs the football adjustment. And speaking of which, by the way, I got a chance to say hi to Lucky Tossi coming out into the jungle or the tunnel, right? Leaving the stadium. Made eye contact with it. Yes, I have a checkbook. Yes, I have a checkbook. I actually balance checkbooks. So, damn, that fucker's big. Why can't he be on the field? I think it's an injustice that we have a guy that is that big not playing. And Kev, that's it. Desmond still needs to be acclimated to the NFL role. Raider man, I don't know. I mean, I thought that Porter played pretty well last game. He was up on tackles quick. So was what was his name? 27. The other kid, I can't remember his name. He was the other. I didn't see Kelly the entire game. Was he injured? Not. I don't know. I didn't check the injury reports, but I don't remember Caillou Blue Kelly in there at all. I remember a lot of Porter, a lot of Stokes, and a lot of McCullum, I think is his name. Yeah, McCullum. He played okay. Thank you. Nabman said as well. Darian Porter played well. And by the way, Nabman, if you need a CPA, my daughter, but only after she does my taxes for 2025 and 2024. Yes, I got to do my 2024 taxes. Third degree burns. Caillou Blue Kelly. Third degree burns. Are you just saying because he gets burned a lot, Raider Man? Because that's fun. I didn't see him at all though. But yeah, he does get burned a lot. Both were not built to tackle. They look like press corner players. I thought Porter played well, Krav. I think. Bowers at wide receiver. Bowers is that dude. Help gently since the O-line sucks. Need to Nick Bonetto down. Broncos linebacker on pace to break the all-time record in sack. What, Ken? I'll give you a chance. Come in. Going versus 40. You guys are just Ken is just throwing all this shit out. I can't keep up with it. Polamalu needs to be more in the linebacker conversation. Well, he needs. No, I disagree there, Nab, man. I think that I like what we got with Eichenberg and Lindenberg and Roberts on one or two plays, and definitely in Devin White. I think, I like that. I like what we got there. Oh, okay. Kenneth's grabbing his Raiders hat, so he will be on when I put the link up. So I've been on here about cool. Is that about for anybody that's on that talks a lot? No, not me. But anyway, let's talk. And I will, and I tell you, I don't want a 3-screen. I told you, I tell people this. I don't want a 3 being. I want one conversation one-on-one. Because when I was on with Ken and Navman the other day, it's like I couldn't really even get in the conversation. And cool Kev Kuntz at linebacker, that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad considering that he really is not really great at defensive end. Seriously. So if you'd like to come into the show, and maybe I only have an hour show tonight, that's fine. Maybe an hour and a half. That's okay. That's the comment of the night. A 3-screen, and I'm in the middle. I'm the sandwich. I'm the meat in the middle of a babe sandwich. Stoffel's here. Good to see you. Yeah, Raider Man. I was gonna say that was horrible to watch. I mean, Travis Etienne is a very good back, but he looked like the second coming of what? Earl Campbell. They couldn't tackle him, and I don't know who the other running back was, but they just couldn't tackle him. They just the running. I don't know how many yards. Somebody can tell me how many yards they had. Hey Ed, good to see you, brother. Yeah, I was gonna say Nabman can you pop in? Okay, there's the link, but I'm not gonna be in the middle of a Kenna Navman 3-screen. one at a time, one at a time. So whoever pops in, great. Whoever pops in, Navman, you can pop in and talk, and Kennick will pop in and talk. Ed Winchell can pop in and talk. And yeah, Kuntz is back or playing defensive end. Okay. And remember, Nav, you can push this to all your folks as well. Get more people to watch. I'm going to be joined by my buddy Bob, who spelled his way. He actually spelled his way the other way. He does it first. Okay, Jack gonna have to wait a little bit. So like I said, I don't want to do a 3 screen. So I won't be able to talk. Okay. So Nav, what you got going on? You know, what's up?
He can. My wood stove's decided to be an asshole, so I was unfucking that real quick.
So you got a wood stove to make sure you're warm in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, it has a mind of its own right now.
That's
a
fine.
Little smoky in here.
Okay. Well, we got and EMAC came in too. So after you're here and Ken is here, then I guess we're going to hear from EMAC. So at least we got 3 guests tonight. Remember, I'm lining them up. So Bob, what did you want to talk about that debacle from Sunday?
I have no issues with that game at all, considering the season. I have no issues.
Yeah, seriously.
What I kind of have an issue with is the play call for the 2-point conversion. I'm not sure why I'm not sure why in that situation it's not your best play. Now, was Lockett wide open?
Go with that. Yes.
All right. I'm trying to. Okay.
Sorry.
You're pros, you're on pros or something.
Lockett was wide open. Yeah, Lockett was wide open, and Myers was open across the middle too.
Yeah. Hell, Trey was open. I mean,
I good. You're okay, Bob. So yeah.
No, you're glitching. All right. I just didn't want to go any further.
I don't know.
You were kind of glitching a little bit. I think you're good now.
I think I'm okay. If I'm glitching, yeah, okay. Go ahead, Bob.
What I'd rather have seen there is something that we were doing the entire game, which was putting Brock in a position that can take defenders with them, because they finally start realizing this dude's going to kill us if we don't take him out of the game, right? What I would have liked to have seen would have been something which Geno, he's not freaking Lamar Jackson, but the motherfucker can move. And what I'd like to have seen was him going, that defensive line's too close to me. Don't throw it. Bust it up the middle and try to freaking make it on his own. That's what bothered me with that play. I'm like, if you're gonna call that play, cool, but you gotta fucking tell Geno, dude, if it's not there and you got the defense up in your lap, man, and you got an opening, freaking do it yourself. That's the shit that bothers me with Geno. And I don't know if it's Geno or if it's the coach telling him don't do it. You know, I don't know that. I love the play call. Because I'm always about this. If you lose, trying to win, I'm good with that. But if you lose to prevent losing,
Yeah.
I'm pissed off about it. That right there was to me, that made the whole game to me was that they actually made that decision. I love the fact that they made that decision. That changed my whole outlook on it. But it also changed something else on me. So why haven't we been doing this one thing? So Genty got 13 carries. Average, 3 yards carry or something like that. But he got 5 other touches. Screen passes. Got him in space. Dude had overall total of damn near 100 yards. You know what I mean? He got more off pass plays than he got off running plays. Why aren't we doing that a little bit more? Why aren't we getting them in space? And here's the other thing. We watched Mostert torch their special teams. Why the fuck is Mostert not in that backfield at least sometimes? The dude in 2023 had the most touchdowns of any running back in the NFL. Why are we not using that dude? I don't get it. It's something's not right with that. Mostert needs to be in that backfield. If nothing else, how about this? Let's say we come off the 12 personnel. Let's say we go to 11 personnel. Or I'm sorry. Let's say we go to a base offense. Okay. And we do an I formation. Mike Mayer is the fullback. Genty keeps getting freaking slammed at the point of attack, right? Put Mike Mayer in there and he's going to smash that first dude coming through the fucking hole. I promise you that. Mike Mayer's going to do that. I don't understand why we're not doing it on 3rd and 1. I don't get
that. We actually, and I don't know who did the cut up, but I saw somebody's cut up where Mayer was the fullback and he was leading the runner through, and I don't remember whose cut up it was, but we used him as a fullback in that situation.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Why not?
And it worked well.
Mike's more than willing to do it. That's the thing. That dude's like, just let me hit somebody. He's that guy, you know? And then, and I'll tell you what, he damn near caught that freaking ball that freaking Gino just chucked out there. He damn near got to it. So, I don't know. Yeah, if Mostert, I agree with that with Badger. Just feed, because Mostert's people don't realize he's a bruiser. He's fast, but man, the dude puts hits on people. You know, he's not easy to tackle. Why not put him in front of Genty and say, here's the way? What do players respond to most? Other veteran players. You know, they're like, oh, hell, well, that's why it's different from college. You know what I mean? It's like you have to be decisive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. Genty's got to the point where his feet are heavy. You know, he starts stutter stepping towards the hole instead of just blasting through there, you know. And I don't blame him. He's getting freaking hammered at the line of scrimmage all the time. He's having to make decisions like, oh, shit, I need to look for daylight. In reality, he just needs to accept that it's going to be there when he gets there, you know. So it's I watched that. I watched several of his runs that were off 1 and 2 runs, you know what I mean? Just off center. I'm like, I'm not I'm not sure if he's actually seen,
Mhm.
you know, the idea of the cutback, because he had a good cutback on one of them. I'm like, oh damn, there it is. I think he was going off the left-hand side. It was off tackle, and he cut inside. Went inside the guard, and it was like an 11-yard run. I'm like, damn. See, that's the one he needs to remember right there, because he just caught something. It's like, oh, that's gonna open. You have to, as a running back, you have to like think about. You have to kind of anticipate what's about to happen instead of what is happening. You know what I mean? In order to be able to break a gap, right? So it's, I don't know. Mostert, he's not had enough snaps in the backfield. I don't know what we got him for. We definitely didn't get him to run punt and kickoff returns back. That's not the reason we got it. You know, he needs to be in that backfield.
But he's doing well. He's doing well. Yeah, he's doing well when he is running, and actually, so is Lobby. Both of them are very adept at kickoff returns. I'd like to see what Dylan Lobby can do as a running back in a spot situation, because they both are looking like, look at me, I can do this. And when given the opportunity, they have been doing it quite well. So, I agree with you. I'd like to see Mostert used more often. I'd like to see Lobby was, I can't remember, it was one of the games when Mostert wasn't available, and Lobby played okay.
Yeah, that was the Bears game, I think.
Says, he almost got a touchdown.
Yeah, he like ran a kickoff return back for, I think it was like 60 yards. It wasn't a touchdown, but he breaking tackles the whole way too.
It was close. Right. But I mean, do you see this as a I'm going to ask this, and then I'm going to get Kenna on. Do you see this as a springboard for positivity on Thursday night? This will be the first game that I can watch this year on TV. This will be my first game watching it on TV, and I'm actually looking forward to that.
You just don't know how to steal games like I do, so I hacked that bad boy.
No, because I've been in all the games, Nat.
Right. I'm with you.
I've been in all the games. That's what I'm saying. Is that I've watched all the games live. So that's the difference. I will be enjoying. Well, and I will do a show Thursday. I'm not sure if anybody's going to watch, but I'll do a show Thursday. And if nobody watches, I'll end the show and I'll go and just watch the Raiders during the show. But we'll see. But it'll be nice to actually watch the Raiders on TV. I'll do that for Denver. I'll do that for the Charger game. I will do that most likely for the Eagles games. And the rest of them, I will be there. I'll be there. So
somebody said nice hat.
We'll see on that.
That's mine right there. Somebody said nice hat, Cat. I'm like, well, that's mine right there.
Yeah, I saw. There you go, and that's nice hat too. Who was it? I think it was Richard Davis said nice hat. So yeah, he has a nice hat as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob. So what do you? So you thinking that maybe we can steal the game on Thursday?
I honestly, I made a prediction on this one based on I thought Jacobi was going to be gone by the trade deadline, which would probably elevate BECH as needing to be And the only smart thing Chip Kelly said in that, and I don't think he even meant to be smart in his press conference, was that BECH has been playing all these different positions as a backup all this time. And I think BECH is going to be starting. So I honestly thought we drafted him as a slot receiver from the get-go. Why he's been bouncing around to all these different XYZ, I don't know. You don't do that to receivers except for a moment-to-moment basis just in case, right? But this is a rookie, man. You can't do that to this fucking guy. I think BECH may have a pretty fucking good game. And I think Genty might have his best game of the season. Because what happened on Sunday, all NFL teams watch how Brock carved the shit out of everybody. No matter what. It didn't matter who you put on him or whatever. And with Surtain out, damn. They're going to have to do something with Brock. So they go play that game. I mean, BECH has proven, the one thing he's proven as a pro is when the ball gets thrown to him, he catches it. You know, so I don't know. But my prediction is that we'll lose the game on a last minute drive, 27-23. That's my prediction.
And again, that is a game. And again, that's a game that it's entertaining, it's hard fought. Yep. And we didn't suck. If it's a 27-23 game that we lose, that's fine. I mean, I should say it's fine that we lost the game, but losing a game in an effort game is something that it takes some of the sting away. It takes some of the sting away. So I agree. So we'll see. Hey, Sharif's in here too. And, nice. And Ron, I got a question for you because I see Ron's in here with the chain, chain on there. Ron, subscribe to my channel so you can see me live, okay? And then you can Ron, watch me come in. It's Captain Jack Rackham, okay? I mean, I appreciate you did. Then why are you watching it on? He said he did. Okay, well, but you're
Ron's my dog. Ron's my dog.
Yeah, I just see you with the chain there. Oh, I know he is. But see, I see him with the chain on there, which means he's watching through your channel.
Oh, so, he said.
But if you watch on my channel, then you don't have.
Yeah, Captain Jack says you got a nice chain. He would like for you to have his chain. Is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. you can be one of my chain. Oh, you were watching earlier. Okay, thanks, Ron. I did not know that, sir. I appreciate that.
No,
so
Ron,
you were with six people. Oh, okay, yeah, he was. So okay, so nice chain. Okay. All right. Well, thanks there, Bob. I'm going to bring Ken in here, so because I know he's about ready to boil over. Thanks again. We'll see you on for next week as well.
All right. Sounds good, brother. All right. Peace.
Take care, bro.
Right,
peace out. That's 93 Nav Man, the Raider Shield family. If you're on my channel and you're not subscribed to Raider Shield family, please do. Having said that, now we're going to bring in Jack Kenna, who is like bursting at the seam to get his points in. Okay, so you got your Raider hat on, Jack. So go ahead and talk about all those things that you wanted to talk about while Bob was talking. I know that's your Lester hat.
Lester Hayes hat. So, hey, it's always great that we see Bob on. Bob and I always talk behind the scenes too. So it's like, this is awesome. Like, we should have been both on at the same time. But man,
no,
no, why?
No, because I'm just sitting here like this. I'm sitting here like this. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Oh.
I'm in the middle of a fuck you sandwich. I'm like, no, I don't like. I like to talk to the person that's on the other side of the screen. When I'm with Sharif, I'm talking to Sharif. When I'm with you, I'm talking to you. When I'm with Bob, I'm talking to you. But when Bob or you are there, and I love Bob and I love you, but I'm here like, oh, okay, la 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 la, you know. And I there's nothing for me to do other than just kind of hang out. I don't like that.
Well, I'm sorry, Cap. It's like I will admit. Like me and you will talk behind the scenes, and Bob and I talk behind the scenes too. So salute to Bob.
Yeah,
man. I'm this last game. It's crazy. It's like we missed an extra point with Daniel Carlson. It's like he never really misses that stuff, and that 1 point could have made the whole difference in this game. And their field goal kicker. We're not in like Mile High Stadium, which we're going to play this week, which we need to talk about. The guy got a 68-yard field goal. I mean, that's like Janikowski type stuff. Such a big leg, 68 yards. How in the hell did he get it? Congratulations to him as a player. First half was like, the defense played well. The offense didn't really play well. But we go to the second half of this game with the Jags, and we have like 16 missed tackles. And we have like 143. All the stuff I'm going to bring up tomorrow night on the Wild West Show. So I hope everyone in the chat goes and watches it. We had 143 yards after, the first hit given up against us. So the defense got run down like 42 minutes of time of possession versus 26 minutes. So you're going to get worn down with that type of stuff. So, I mean, I can't blame it. And, the offense did well, too. It's like, the offense with Geno. You look at the 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, right? But 233 yards were yards after the catch. That is 285. So we're going, 4.5 yards per reception and hoping that we break stuff open. So it's like, I think that might work well against Denver, but against the Jags, no deep balls really getting thrown. I mean, nothing tested. Even Thornton was not even active on the roster this week, to play the game. And Nab brought up a good point. We look at that last play with Geno, that 2-point conversion. If you watch the play, I've watched it 4 or 5 times. And it's like he did look over to Rock going on the right side, a really quick thing, double covered. So he comes back over to the left side, double pump. And then, it's like it was tipped. Yes. The wide receiver was open, but there was also Jacobi Myers was open coming on from the right side, coming over the middle. There was nobody on him either.
And that's what I saw, because from my vantage point, looking from that corner of the end zone, I saw Myers break across the middle with his defensive back behind him. So his defensive back was beat. Myers was wide open. Okay, there was no way, in my estimation, that defensive back was going to be able to catch up to him and tip the ball or anything like that. Myers was wide open. Now, I didn't even see Lockett open, because the way my vantage point was, all I saw was Myers open. It said Myers was wide open. Then when I see the cut-ups, I see that Lockett was even more wide open. There was nobody next to Lockett. Nobody.
Either way.
So
it's like, the double pump. It's like, that slow defensive lineman saw the double pump. So he jumped up after the first pump. That's why he got his hands on that ball and knocked it down. So it's like, if you didn't double pump, that would have been a touchdown. So it's kind of mad. It's kind of mad.
Yeah.
It's like, to loot. Jags are a good team, okay, but I was so happy to see the offense be an offense. Like, we were averaging 14.4 points per game or something like that, and we got 29 points per game. This game, and Brock Bowers, like, you get a healthy Brock Bowers coming into this back on a team. It makes it exciting, and I'm happy. And you can put him, it's like, I was in the chat when Nat was on your show. I was like, why not do 13 personnel? Why not put Brock? Right now he's the best wide receiver on the team. Put him out there. Let him run that. And then you got a Michael Myers, who's a really good tight end, and we got another tight end. If we're going to try to run the ball, I was excited, what we saw in the beginning of the year against Patriots. It was deep ball, deep ball, deep ball, deep ball. And it worked. It was the first game of the year. And we saw deep balls are getting interceptions every single week. So this week, it's like, again, 4.5 yards per catch. I think that's going to work good against Denver. I think with the Jags, we could have gone deeper and try to get Trey Tucker in there a little bit more on some deep balls. And again, Thornton's not in there this week. Jack Besh was not really in there this week. So, we get rid of Jacobi Myers, and now we got, the guy from Seattle. I don't know what with Lockett. I don't know what they're going to try to do, but I do know we need to do like a little bit of each. I love, what we've going to is like everything that's like, okay, deep ball. Now we're like, going to the sides, which we can see that, Genty can actually catch the ball, and you stretch him out on the outside because our offensive line sucks in the middle. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. So I understand why we're not running in the middle, why we're going outside, because all the runs were better on the outside. Is let's do a passing attack on the outside. So I think that we kind of needed to do that against Denver because, damn, I hate to say this, but Nick Benito, and doing the show with Richie and the Wild West crew, that cat is on pace to break the all-time, record in sacks. He is just that fast, that strong, that good. So if we get him coming in on the, to rush in the passer, and then you get a Genty on the outside of him, and he's not there, that could be a huge play. And plus, last year I looked at it, it's like, with Patrick Surtain, it's like he got a pick six off, Aiden O'Connell last year trying to go to Bowers. And he was the only cornerback in the NFL that kept him to 40 yards. Every game that he's had was above 40 yards. Surtain's out. He's out. So now it's Greenlaw.
Well,
so
one second, Jack. I thought Booger threw that interception. Are you sure it was AOC 12? I thought it was Booger.
It could be. I mean, I thought it was AOC 12, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat, correct me.
Yeah, I was going to say, then the only reason why I remember that game, I was in Kansas working part-time. And I just came home either I just came home in time or I just woke up in time because I was working the night shift. However it
Oh,
was.
Nap said it was Minshew.
Okay, yeah, it was Minshew. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was Booger that threw that interception. Yeah. So thank God. Okay, I was like, I thought Booger threw. I'm not the crack on you, Jack. I just said, did I miss the quarterback on that one? But
No,
anyway,
it's like with a defensive back, on Bowers, but he's got to be, he's all world defensive back, and he's still got 40 yards going against him, and now he's out. It's like and Greenlaw, we know as a Northern California guy, I know Greenlaw is good, playing for the Niners, but he's coming back from an injury. He's had 1 week, so let's see what he does against the Bowers. And I think Bauer's going to torch him.
okay. So that's two people that think, although Sharice says that the front seven is definitely not the front seven that the Jags had. And I got Sharif up after EMAC coming in because I know Sharif is next after because EMAC I do people in order. So you're thinking that now Bob is on record saying 27-23 we lose at the very end. So what now? And if you want to wait till tomorrow for your prediction, that's fine. Because
I will.
I don't want to. I
gotta wait for my show, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta wait for the Wild West show. So if you guys want to tune in, it's on this guy's show right here. This boy, Captain Jack Rackham. I go on his show for the Wild West, and I'll do my score prediction then.
Okay, so Jack will make a prediction tomorrow, 1 day ahead of the game. And again, I'm just learning now that Sertan is out. I don't pay attention to this shit. Because normally I'm doing things during the week, and then like when it's time for the game, then I learn a few things. I don't do fantasy football either, so that's another reason why I don't pay attention to injury reports. I don't give a fuck. I just wait to see who's playing on the field. So watching the game, and maybe I'll do a show on Thursday. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just say fuck it. I'm going to watch the game. And because Thursdays is my normal night, but it'll be nice to just sit down and watch a game from my house and not have to worry about it. But then Monday night I will be out in Green Bay. I won't have all my gear. I think I'm going to bring my my tricorn hat and captain's coat and a bunch of cold weather gear underneath it, and then so that'll be it, and I'll watch it like that because I'm not gonna have any of that cold jewelry on, so I can actually enjoy the game in Green Bay. I got to figure out how cold it's gonna be, but yeah, I don't like,
bro.
It's what?
You're in Florida, so you go to Green Bay, it's gonna be cold.
Yeah, well, I know it's gonna be cold, but there's cold and there's frigid.
Yeah, it's gonna be frigid, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see here. Let's check.
I'm in California, so I get it too.
Because you got okay. I'll forecast for Green Bay. What's Monday's date?
I'm on my phone, so I can't look it up.
Okay. Well, I the closest is I got on Sunday. Okay. 35. Ooh.
35 is
Monday. 37.
Really reason about freezing.
Yeah. 37. Yeah, 37 and 21 is Monday. So let's see, and that's going to be 6 p.m. weather Monday. Oh no, Monday is weather. Yeah, 37 degrees. That's not it's cold, but it's not frigid. I've done weather games that are like that. So I'll have my gloves on, and I'll have my the jacket and the sweatshirt and another sweatshirt and long. I'll be okay. I'm not going to be comfortable, but I'll be watching a good game for once. And I will say, at least this last Sunday's game was a good game for once. Watching the Titan game was a good game because it was against a team that really wasn't all that in a biscuit. Okay. But, I want to see a good game. I want to see an entertaining game, and I want to see an entertaining game on Thursday. And maybe that'll give me the gumption to just feel good all the week. Well, hey, at least the Raiders won, and then anything else is a bonus. So we'll see about that. Stoffel says 23-20.
I love Stoffel.
And Ron Raspberry says, here's something I haven't heard from Ron. Run the fucking ball. I get it, Ron. I get it. And thank you for switching over. No names. Run the fucking ball. I agree, but you just got to be successful at it. Because you're saying run the fucking ball and you're not getting any yards at it, then stop running the ball if it's not working.
And Ron, I agree with running the ball. We do need to run the ball with Genty way more than what we've done. And at the same time, I like what we did on the short passes on the outside, because you know what? If we can't run in the middle with our offensive line, because it's been so piss poor and their players are out of position, then yes, that's what we need to do. And I want to see it against Denver, because Benito is a stallion, and that dude, if he's coming in hard, if we can get on the left side and get it on the outside for Genty, then I think we have some bigger plays. Brock Bowers going to, have Greenlaw on him, which I think, Brock Bowers will win that, matchup. So it's like we need to, do those certain little things, the little things against Denver. And what's funny is like, I'm going to get on a Denver channel like on Friday with Bronco Buzz, Bill, and Kona. They're good guys, they're good guys. And it's like, branching off the MHRT network and doing more stuff and being a Raiders representative, like to rep you, Raiders, all this right here, this hat. Represent the Raiders and get in Denver Broncos nation. There's only one nation, but their team. Ride them high. If I'm getting in there and getting into their heads, hell yeah, dude. Go nation. And it'll be fun. It's like the answers are not going to be there. And it's like, if we can get a win, that would be huge. But if we don't get a win, I'm okay with that. I like the 2-point conversion. We did not get that 2-point conversion. I wanted to go for it. It's like either you get a win or you get a loss. No ties. We are just win, baby. We don't do that stuff. So it's like I'm okay with that loss, with that ball being tipped up. But yeah, let's get after these donkeys. And if any Donkeys fan, comes after you, go, guess what? Let's look at the last 10 games. We're 8-2. We're 8-2. So we had one losing season. And how many losing seasons have you guys had? There you go.
All right. So that's a little bit of a precursor for tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow on the Wild Wild West show with Jack Kenna representing that guy, Jack Kenna representing the Raiders, the Raider Nation, and all Raider fans. Jack Kenna will predict his winners for the Thursday night game. And Jack, thanks for coming on and doing a dry run. But I hope that it's a positive. I hope it's a positive. I mean, Granted, I won't have to be that, and I wasn't going to go out to Denver to be miserable, cold, and watching a blowout. At least when I was in Kansas City, it was warm as fuck. It was warm as fuck watching the blowout with Johnny, Johnny Mad Bomber. It wasn't horrendous, but going to Denver and be cold as fuck and watching a horrible game, I don't like that. So, and it's a Thursday night game, which is that's the main reason why the main reason I'm not going to Denver is because Denver fans suck.
They do.
Denver fans suck.
You know it's cool, Cap. I will say this before I hop off. So Robert Pena, we all know Robert Pena. All the guys in the chat, Robert Pena. He's coming out in March. I'm going to meet him. And Chewy, Jesse's coming out. His girlfriend is her family's in Sacramento. So I'm going to meet up with Chewy. I'm going to try to get Ed to go. I know it's hard to get Ed to go out to do anything, but I'm going to try to get him to come out too and meet up on the 29th, the day after Thanksgiving. So I think that would be cool. Raider Nation connects, which is different than a lot of other, fan bases. So it's yes. So Robert Pena, Chewy, and Ed, I hope you want to meet up at some point, and let's do it, bro.
Well, until that time, a great time out in Sacramento with everybody. Ed and I are talking about me going out to Sacramento this year. I'm not sure if it's going to be during the season or not. But if not, then maybe in January, if I don't have any knee surgery scheduled. I go back and forth on whether I'm going to have my knees done. But
then let me know.
That Raider Hemi. Yeah. Ed Winchell says I'll call you, bro. So okay. And Bob's going to see you in Bakersfield, Jack.
Yeah, Bob. I don't know if Sacktown's going to go, but I'll go. I think Blue and David will go, and I know Europe wants to go. So Nav, absolutely, bro. And Ed, you should come out with me to Bakersfield because you will have a great time with that event too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see where I'm at on the I'll see where I'm at next year for that. We'll see.
All right, Nation. Love my family. Salute. If Sharif's coming on, I'm not going to see you on the live, but salute, brother. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, Sharif's coming in, but after EMAC. Because EMAC has been waiting. Okay, EMAC, you still here?
I'm still here, brother. How's your night?
Well, I needed to do a Sunday show because I didn't do a Sunday show, and I appreciate you popping in.
I was at basketball anyway, so you're all good.
Yeah. No, Sharif is coming in next, so I wanted to make sure I got you in.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? And it can be on anything. Obviously the big one is the Raiders playing Denver on Thursday, or the Raiders getting this close to a victory on this past Sunday. And the Seahawks, they played well the other day, did they not? Or am I misremembering?
38-14. But I did not watch that game apparently because of basketball. Of course, the game was on Sunday night, right when I was at open gym apparently. But
you can play basketball. Yeah, it's good for you, man. I mean, I ain't going out there anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess Jaden Daniels dislocated his elbow. I don't know if you watched that clip or not. It was a bad elbow injury.
I did. That's right. It was the Washington game. Yeah. And I feel bad for Jaden Daniels. personally. And I actually feel bad for his coach because the coach made the number one cardinal sin of if the game is over, you've either won it or you lost it. Take your starting franchise quarterback out of the game.
I was about to say something about that too, man. It's like take him out of the game. He's probably had a bad game, and you left it. We leave him in too long when he gets hurt. That's bad. That's bad for the whole team.
Mm-hmm. That is. I remember a certain quarterback on Christmas Eve that was in the game when the game was won, and the left tackle who missed like one block all year misses the block in a certain quarterback by the name of Carr. And Sharif will talk about. I apologize, Sharif. Derek Dallas Carr.
By the way, it was a dislocated elbow, so luckily it can actually pop back into place.
Well, so what's the prognosis then? I heard that he's out for most of the year.
He's going to miss some time for sure, but I don't think it's going to be the whole season.
Okay. Bob says that he believes your Seahawks are going to win the NFC.
If we can outpass the Rams and San Fran, sure. By the way, the Rams play San Francisco again this weekend, and San Fran. I guess we'll see how that turned out because I expect the Niners to beat the Rams Thursday night in overtime.
Okay.
But
so
anyway,
your next two games upcoming: Raiders at Broncos. Who you got? And the Seahawks are playing who this weekend?
I don't know who we're playing who yet because I haven't looked at the full schedule. And then your Raiders and Broncos, I think it's going to be another L for the Raiders, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no bad thing saying that. So,
by the way, in the 2026, the first round pick in the NFL draft, overall pick 5, the Raiders select Archie Manning, quarterback out of Texas.
I hope not. I haven't been impressed with Arch Manning this year. I mean, I've been more impressed with Sellers out of South Carolina, Mendoza out of Indiana. Yeah, Mendoza out of Indiana. I maybe those guys are picked before him. I mean, obviously, if you want to take a shot on a quarterback, pick Drew Aller in like the second and third round because he's going to be coming off an injury. And in the first round, oh, here's something. Get the best fucking offensive lineman available. And yeah, and Raider Shield, aka Bob, says Arch Manning's not going to be in the draft anyway, which I kind of.
And then the Raiders have officially hired Mike McDaniel as their OC.
I don't see that happening either.
By the way, I do think Mike McDaniel, if he was your OC, I think you guys would run the shit out of Genty as well, or run like fancy ass jet sweeps, like he has another Kyle Shanahan offensive mind playbooks.
Okay, and yeah, Ron, I agree with you, Ron. I wanted Fuaga last year. We ended up getting Bowers. That was good for us. And I wanted Membo this year, and we ended up getting Genty. So for 2 years, and I'm on record saying this, I'm not just, Monday morning quarterbacking on a Sunday game. I said I wanted Fuaga last year. I wanted Membo this past year.
I feel like even if you guys would have got Membo, it would not turned out.
I don't think if we would have gotten Membo, we probably would have gotten like Travion Henderson, in the second round or anything like that.
I think you guys could have gotten Skittles Bo in the first round, but that's just me though.
Well, and if we got Bo, he'd still be injured because of the way he plays.
I think Scatterbo would have been so impactful for the Raiders.
Well, we'll see. The Utah. I don't know. I don't know who the Utah tackle is. JBJ back to center, second round pick. Okay.
I'm not really an offensive lineman person, but
well, I am. So,
well, I'm talking about
Raspberry wanted Membo.
I'm talking about like as far as watching them wise. What did they do? All they do is just block all day.
Yeah. Well, EMAC is a young. For to answer your question, Bob, EMAC is a young Seattle frequent YouTube shows from, and he's with my buddy as well. It's with the New York Giants gentleman by the name of go ahead and say it there, EMAC. So give him some pub.
Let's go Giants! Ow!
EMAC. No. The gentleman that does the show is Sneaky.
Oh, his
G.
name is Sneaky G Man, by the way.
Yeah,
Sneaky G Man 11.
But yeah, did you say that? Yeah. By the way, I did say that when the draft happened. I did, and I'm on record saying it 2 years in a row. I was on record saying it. I wanted Membo. I'm sorry. I wanted Fuaga. But I said Bowers was a fantastic pick, but I wanted Fuaga. It's on tape. This year, I said I wanted Membo. Membo was there. That's the guy. Membo. And I was with the gals that were Kansas City fans because Membo was from Missouri. And they said, no, we want Membo. I said, you guys are picking 31. Unless you trade up, you ain't no fucking way you're getting Membo. And then we picked Genty. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's a very good pick. But what about Membo? And Membo went the very next pick.
When he said Scatabo for the Raiders.
Yeah. He's a young Seattle guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now you can do your outro there, EMAC.
Yeah. All right. Are you letting me go?
Yeah, because I got to get the Sharif, and then I'm actually gonna cut it off probably after Sharif. But hey, thanks again for coming in. Yeah, anyway, I do too.
Love you, brother, and let's go Raiders.
Thank you, EMAC. We'll see you on another show, brother. You take care.
Have a good night, Cap.
Good night, bro. That's it. EMAC, the young Seattle fan. Yeah, I think Bowers was the better pick. I get it. Membo over Genty. Yeah, that's us. And so now we are moving on to Sharif Salah Khan, aka Black Thanos. Sharif, give me a mic check there, brother.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Checking is good, Mike. What's up?
Thanks, my friend. I'm actually on the clock, so I ask you in advance, excuse any incidental background noise if you may hear.
No. Yep, I had background noise when I was at the airport, so don't worry about it, man. You're on the clock, which is cool. This is a later show than normal, but I did want to at least have a show.
Yes. I didn't get to see your good friend Johnny, who I think was with you the last time I saw your show. And he said he would screenshot my prediction before the Jags game. At that point, I had the Jags 31, the Raiders 17. The good part is that we scored more than 17, and the Jags just fell short of 31 at 30.
Yes,
now,
I did send that to him because I screenshotted it for him.
Yes, so you know, as I often tell our friends in Raider Nation, when Black Thanos tells you something, you got one job: to listen. You know, I don't put my neck out on the line just for entertainment or shock value. And you got to remember, the Jags was a team that had twice the amount of wins we had. I got to see them quite a bit, and I was unaware that Travis Hunter would be unavailable, because I also put in the comments he was going to torch our secondary. They didn't even need Travis. They didn't even have the other guy, Brown. So wisely, they leaned on the run with Etienne, who, basically imposed his will. They scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. And yes, Geno has been much maligned this year, but to play devil's advocate, this is the first time he's had a healthy Brock Bowers since week 1. Bowers got hurt in the Patriot game.
Yeah.
Late up in the, and then before we knew it, he was wearing a leg brace like he was Steve Austin, which is borderline malpractice when you think how ridiculous that is to have a franchise player like that with a big brace on his leg.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I see things like that, Cap, I got to say this administration is clueless and has failed. Because if you fired the former head coach and let go of Champ Kelly to be 2-6, to give Chip Kelly the highest salary in history for OC, a decorated elder statesman in the world of coaching, and you take the best running back in the draft and you don't know how to maximize them, this is failure in capital letters. But to Geno's defense, every time the Jags scored, he answered.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, if we go back 5, 6, or 7 years, if the former quarterback gave us the lead with 154 left on the clock and the opponents marched on down the field, we would be blaming the defense. And now Max Crosby is basically the new Khalil Mack, a la 2014 and 2015. He's a one-man show, and he can't do it enough. Meanwhile, Cap, some of our defensive players are in New England with the best record in the league, like our good friend Spillane, which I warned the nation about, was a terrible, egregious mistake to let him out the building. Because when you have a man who has the same motor as Max, you want to amplify and multiply those type of players on your defense. It's evident Max needs help. And the brother did everything he possibly could, but it wasn't enough. We even let Chasey on, who had a career year under AP. He's over there with the Patriots.
I was just going to get to that. I said I think it was more of a mistake to let Caleb Chason leave than Spillane. That's me. I said, could you imagine Caleb Chason as the other defensive end that's playing for Coons? How much better disagree. And again, it's not that I did not like Robert Spillane. I did like Robert Spillane, but not for the money he was asking for.
Well, he seemed like he's worth it now when you have surplus money sitting in a shoebox and helping the Patriots to have the best record in the league. And as I said before, they took 5 of our players. It almost feels like collusion and insider trading. We get Tom Brady over here, who has a long friendship with Vrabel. All of a sudden, Mike Vrabel isn't hired as the coach. According to reports even shared by UCAT, all of a sudden Brady wants to push Pete Carroll, who he beat in the Super Bowl under crazy circumstances. Not Vrabel, the guy he knows, but Pete over here, who's out of football and got pushed out the door with a severance package in Seattle. And then, of course, when Brady comes here after mentoring Sanders extensively, well, I don't think I want to draft him. This feels like Brady is a part of this team corporate-wise, but he still works for the Patriots because look who has the best record in the league. And if they end up in the Super Bowl, Cap, do not be shocked.
Okay.
Do not be shocked with all those ex-Raiders over there.
I got you what you're saying. Honestly, I don't get the what was it, conspiracy theory. Okay, I get it. But would you say that I'm sorry, I'll say this. According to and I've said this in the other shows, and so you've heard this. According to people in the know that know the Raiders locker room, because you've given me some really good bits of information, which I still haven't, if I don't think I've dimed you out on the one, but you gave me at least 2 times information that panned out before it became relevant and before it became reality. You gave me 2 bits of information which were true, and I thank you for that. So Sharif has good sources there, but according to another person that has a source that is within the, not the Raider organization, I want to make sure I'm good on this, not within the Raider organization, but knows about the Raider organization from a professional standpoint, where he sees, knows, or hears shit, that Tom Brady is responsible for Geno Smith. Tom Brady brought in Geno Smith over Sam Darnold. That's according to this source. Now, another source, and it's not the same person, but another source said that Tom Brady is responsible for Chip Kelly. So there you go, right there. It wasn't necessarily Tom Brady bringing in Pete Carroll, but Tom Brady allegedly is responsible for bringing in Chip Kelly. So
yes, but you and I both know Pete Carroll doesn't come here without a Geno Smith. He's sure as hell not coming here for AOC or Desmond Ritter or whoever was on the chart at the time.
Pete Carroll wanted Sam Darnold. Pete Carroll wanted Sam Darnold. It was Brady that said, no, I think we should go get Geno.
Oh, so that's just as I suspected. That was the act of treachery and sabotage by Mr. Deflategate, by Mr. Tuckrule, by Mr. Spygate. And we actually believe he's here to help after single-handedly setting back this franchise eons and perhaps contributing to Al Davis' demise from 2001 into 2010, with things just, diminish significantly. So I don't think it's any accident that the Patriots used us like their personal farm system, having intel and access, Spillane, Chason, the other guy in the defensive backfield, Marcus Epps, et cetera, and leapfrog in front of us and the rest of the AFC. And this game in Denver, I don't have a lot of optimism for. I'm beyond the point of caring, because this administration, and starting with Mr. Spytech, has been an absolute failure. And I'm wondering how long we can keep Genty engaged and enthused, because he's not even in the Rookie of the Year discussion, which is tragic.
Yeah,
there's about 3 or 4 people in front of him that the press keeps talking about for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Genty is not even a thought. Yeah. Think about that. Someone who had 2,700 yards a year ago. And the conventional wisdom, Cap, was great. We're not expecting Geno to be Dan Fouts and air it out like Ed Coryell. We need a good, experienced game manager who now will have a running threat. And that didn't even pan out, thanks to an OC who's overpaid and out of touch, sitting up in the damn skybox like some, fat emperor in some bed sheets from Animal House. And this is why the Raiders are doomed. Dumb decision after dumb decision. And I'm sorry you had to witness that heartbreaking loss. I appreciate the effort of this team. 4 touchdown passes is nothing to lightly dismiss. Brock will make a difference, but the absence of Myers, who now is with Jacksonville, and that's a great trade for them, Cap, because they still have 11 draft picks left. People don't realize that. And they lost Travis Hunter, so they obviously need a wide receiver, and they're getting a very good one, a guy who kept a good attitude despite all the, difficulty in coming to an agreement. He never played the role of malcontent or pretending he was hurt like Devontae Adams last year and had a hissy fit till we shipped him out of here week 4. So Myers is going to help that team, and Trevor Lawrence, who I call Trailer Park Thor, a lot. So I'm sad to see him go, but nobody can say the Raiders fleece the Jaguars because they got everything they want and they still have a surplus of draft picks.
Okay. Now, Sharif, I want to, before you go, and Nav, by the way, Nav, I'm going to bring you back in. Normally I don't do, my thing is, unless you get bounced by a technical, and you can back me up on this, Sharif. You know, once you're in and you're out, you're in and out. You're done, right? But Nav has been waiting patiently to go. He wants to talk about some of what you were talking about, but I'm not gonna do it in such a way where it's combative. It's gonna be, remember the old CBS 60 Minutes point counterpoint? Because I'm old. I know you remember that, right?
Vaguely. I know the 60 Minutes always came on after the game, and by then I was tuned out. But
okay, well, 60 Minutes. If you remember the old Saturday Night Live skit where Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin would do like a point counterpoint,
yes,
that's what it was based on. It was based on the CBS point counterpoint on 60 Minutes.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Jane, you magnificently
But
ignorant.
I'm not going to call anyone ignorant slut unless, JT comes on the air, then that'd be different. And you know who JT is.
JT. Yeah. The only other ignorant slut I can think of does have a J as a first letter, but yeah. But JT.
But the thing about Myers being gone, teams can now double Brock, focus on him more extensively, because these wide receivers we have, these tier C receivers, don't strike fear in nobody. Tucker hands are terrible. I don't care. He could be the fastest man since Jesse Owens. His hands are non-existent or a work in progress. So now Bowers will command even more attention without Myers being on that field. And we're going to really see what Brock is made of, though I know he embraced the challenge.
Yeah, I would say a work in progress. Hey, I was going to say, Sharif, do you remember how Clifford Branch played his first 2 years?
I can't say I watched it firsthand, literally in pull-ups or Pampers. But
I would say that Clifford Branch, the great Hall of Famer Clifford Branch, couldn't catch a cold his first year and a half.
Yeah, like Haywood Bay, but unlike Haywood Bay, Clifford turned it around.
I do. I agree.
So, there's a lot of examples of fast guys who we were high on and just couldn't develop. Hopefully Tucker will break that, but he's had some crucial, every week I watch a Raider game, he's good for one drop at the wrong time.
Yeah.
It never fails. And without Myers now, Bowers is going to need that additional weapon to keep all the attention away from him. Because after him putting the league on notice again, Denver, of all teams, is going to be up to the task because they know us. They're not stupid. They're at home, and they have a very smart defense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Sharif, and I know you're on the clock. And by the way, for Nav, Sharif is always a circle with an S. I know what he looks like. He just prefers not to be on camera, probably because he's at work most of the time. So he does. It's not I would say it's not a look where he wants to be. Hey, he was at work on YouTube. That's the main reason why. Am I correct on that, Sharif?
Yep, and pretty much. And look, anyone who's been to games the last 12 years or so, they had to see Black Thanos. My Instagram page is public. So that's another thing. I'm a costume figure, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
in the echelon of Raider Nation. You know, and you and I, Cap, at Broken Bread many a times from Oakland to Vegas. So, you know, the people are familiar with the name. So I'm not on the run or hiding from child support warrants or nothing like that. It's basically what you said, Cap.
Yeah. No, and I get it. And so I was just making now we're just busting your balls, so that's fine.
Oh,
I
okay.
just wanted to make sure because I don't know. I try to bring things correctly so people get the thing. But Sharif, go back to work. Yeah, Stoffel says we've seen him. Yeah, and by the way, when he's not at work and he's at home and he's enjoying his big cigar, he does have diatribes, and I think that's the correct word, right? A diatribe or two about the Raiders. So it's not just on my show he gets a chance to put on a diatribe. He does it on Facebook, or is it gone to Instagram now because of your Facebook issues? I don't know.
Yeah, it's on both. But anyway, Cap, we shall see Thursday. It's a long uphill battle, and it's a disappointment for all of us because when I hear the word rebuild, to me, that is compensatory language translating to we were unprepared, what we did failed, so now let's rebrand this as a rebuild. Because you don't hire a 74-year-old head coach for a rebuild. That especially one who's highly decorated. And bring Chip Kelly here from Oregon or wherever he was for a quote unquote rebuild and take the best running back in the draft and sign a veteran quarterback to, you know, a significant deal. No, this is a failure is what it is. And Spytech inexperience is killing us. But it benefited the Patriots on the plus side for those in Boston.
I will say this, and again, you really rake Spytech over the coals. Jury's out, man. Jury's out. I will say that lighten up on Spytech. I know, and I take some of what you say, and I say yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. Yes, or no, I don't agree. But you know where it is on that. And I think on Spytech, it's a little early.
Yeah. You remember what I said about Telesco day one. However, I would even prefer Telesco than him. And I knew Telesco was problematic, but at least he had the genuine hands-on experience. And he did get us Bowers, and he tried to address the O-line. It's just that his conflict of interest was too transparent because there's no way a guy who lost his job to Antonio Pierce is going to go work with that guy or be accountable with that guy with a smile on his face after your college friend Josh McDaniels was fired in favor of him. It's almost like a bad soap opera. So he was an easy villain, and Mark Davis knew that. That's why he fired Telesco right after Pierce, because he knew the optics was horrible. But as a GM, he was definitely better than Spytech.
Okay, well, again, per people that again, sources I had, it was Brady that said in businesses that are starting over, you get rid of the GM and the coach, and you build it that way. Again, just from sources that I said. And remember, we got picks, we got salary cap next year. I agree, Kenna, but we better fucking do something with those picks and the salary cap. But I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna get Bob on here for the last 10 minutes or so, and we'll see.
Okay, Cap, have a good night. And only one man can save us. That's Mendoza. Talk to you later.
All right. I'm up for that. I'd love to have Mendoza. Thanks again, Sharif. All right. That's Sharif. And again, Kenna will say, yeah, Navman's been patient. And again, this is not normal for me. I normally do like, one and done. But you were patient. So I would say go ahead and anything that you want to rebut or say I agree with or I don't agree with, go ahead and do it.
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, fuck you, man. You can't just say, nah, I'm good. And then just, with all the stuff you were saying in the chat.
I mean, you can't call Pete Carroll highly decorated in the NFL. You can't call Sean Payton highly decorated in the NFL. You can't call Jim or John Harbaugh either highly decorated in the NFL. One Super Bowl.
Wait, what's your definition of highly decorated then?
Oh, highly decorated would be multiple. Andy Reid would be highly decorated. To me,
I agree with that.
That is one of the best coaches that's ever lived. He freaking took the Eagles to the fucking NFC Championship over and over and over. And then with the Chiefs, and guess what? Got lucky with a great quarterback. A dude that nobody expected to be that guy, right? Patrick Mahomes. And then guess what they did? They've done nothing but go to the NFC or AFC Championship game every year since he's been in the NFL. Okay? So be careful when you talk about coaches, okay? Sean Payton has won one Super Bowl in 30 years. One.
Right.
Mike Tomlin's won how many Super Bowls? Mike Tomlin for the Steelers. One. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that one wasn't easy at all, right? Careful when you start talking about decorate.
Okay, so you would say that he's decorated, but he's not highly decorated.
No, not highly decorated. When you say highly decorated,
but he's at least decorated.
Yes. But when you say highly decorated, I think Tom Landry. I think fucking goddamn, the old dudes, you know what I mean? All that shit, I mean, even Barry Switzer, you can't say that. He inherited the fucking best team in the NFL from Jimmy Johnson. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I wouldn't even call Barry Switzer decorated.
No, exactly. Not decorated. He was decorated. So only 3 coaches in the NFL or in football have won a national championship.
College, national
college and the NFL. Right? And won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, and Pete Carroll.
That's it. I get that. That's decoration, but it is an NFL decoration. You understand what I'm trying to get at? It's like I get it, but damn, highly decorated in the NFL means Andy Reid. To be perfectly honest with you, dude, that dude has been through the freaking ringer to get where he's at now. But damn, you can't just freaking. The dude's been in the building for 8 months, and you're getting ready to fire his ass, Pete. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's all we've been doing. Firing.
Wait a second. Wait a second. So you are on the we don't need Pete bandwagon?
No,
Pete goes.
I thought that was the best thing that could be done at the time. We didn't get it.
Yeah, I agree. I said Pete Carroll is the coach. I said when we were going after Johnson, I said no. I want Pete, and again, I have tape. I said if we get Johnson, that's fine, but I want Pete Carroll because it was about the same time that we were courting Johnson, and there were the other rumors about Pete being interested in coming back. I said, okay, no, I don't want Johnson. If we get Johnson, that's fine, but I want Pete Carroll, and there is tape of me saying that. I'm sure.
Well, and I understand why Ben Johnson didn't didn't come to the Raiders because he didn't have a quarterback mold.
Right.
There was question there, and I get what he's doing, and damn it, these fucking Bears are going to be pretty damn good, and I think he's a good reason for it. If you look at what's going around the league, Andy Reid being the only exception around this league, and Sean McDermott's still young too with the Bills, right? What's going around in the league is these young coaches, McVay, all these guys. I mean, these young coaches, most of them offensive coordinators, by the way, just saying, most of them are taking over the league, but we'll see. It's I just don't like the highly decorated thing, because if you haven't won multiple freaking Super Bowls, you're not highly decorated, in my opinion. Because it's, you know what I mean? In the military, highly decorated means you've done it at a sustained performance over a period of time where you've won more times than you've lost. Mike Tomlin is a perfect example. The Steelers have had, 3 coaches in 60 years? I mean, for crying out loud.
Yes.
We've had 6 coaches in 5 years. We can't keep doing that shit. Can't keep firing motherfuckers, man. That ain't going to help, because everybody wants to bring their own people and freaking all this shit, right? The moment that we didn't land a young head coach, I knew we were kind of having to deal with shit. We're going to have to deal with something. And I don't know. And shipmate, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what we're looking at this point, because I expect what it looks like, and I made mention of this with the Seahawks thing. The season, the year before the freaking Seahawks went and won the Super Bowl, for the first time in their existence, by the way, just so you know, because I didn't see a Seahawk jersey before that ever in my life when I was there. They win the Super Bowl with Marshall on and shit, right? And what I saw that season, I was just like, I think that was right after they left the AFC West, when they went to the NFC West, right? I think that was the same year. They didn't win the Super Bowl in the AFC. They were NFC, but anyway,
right.
The thing about it was, all we thought about the Seahawks as Raider fans at that point was, every time we played the Seahawks, we were guaranteed pretty much 2 wins a year. That's the way it was, and we expected we're going to get 2 from the Seahawks, so we can count that, and then, you know what I mean? And then what burns my ass is that people scream decorated coaches. There's only a few. I mean, there's a handful. There's 5, in my opinion, that are decorated. That
highly decorated.
Highly decorated.
Highly decorated.
5 in my mind. And and I'll tell you what, most of them are 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and let me see if I get who's on your list. Okay, I would say Tom Landry. I would say George Halas.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go back there,
I
would say Vince Lombardi, because between 2 Super Bowls and then all of the NFL championships as well. So
Nope.
Vince Lombardi, yeah, okay. I would say if we're going 5, I would have to say Curly Lambeau.
That probably should have been somewhere close into my thought process, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I would say, because I went back to Curly Lambeau because of all the great Packer teams. Because you go Hallis, Lombardi, Curly Lambeau, Tom Landry, and then Chuck Noll. Was other than Curly Lambeau? Who did I miss?
All would be in the top 8 that's on my mind in reality, and you added because I was thinking top 7. But Andy Reid, I can't deny that shit. I just can't deny that. I can't deny that as him as one of them. I can't deny it. I mean, he went through a freaking 4 straight NFC Championship games, went to 3 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. Right? You know what I mean? And then goes to the Chiefs and freaking and gets lucky with it.
Well, I'm gonna 3 straight NFC championships in a row. Not Super
Understood.
Bowls.
But then comes to the Chiefs and takes them to the AFC championship every single year that Patrick Mahomes has been there. But what's the key?
I'm sorry, I just want for people that are watching, it's not Super Bowls, 3 straight NFC championships, and then goes to the Chiefs, and then what goes to like 5 or 6 AFC championships in a row.
5 Super Bowls, 8 NFC championship games. You know what I mean? The Chiefs have been in the NFC or AFC championship game every single year that Patrick Mahomes has been drafted.
Yeah, and Stoffel brings up obviously Bill Walsh because we didn't even mention Bill Walsh.
Exactly. Then there's Bill Walsh. That was the other one that I was saying.
Oh, okay.
So,
and can we mention Don Shula, considering that he is the winningest NFL coach?
We can, but
he has
what's the NFL measured? But what's the NFL measured on? I mean, reality-wise, the NFL is measured on freaking Super Bowl wins. So it's like Dan Marino. Does he belong? Does Dan Marino belong in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. He's one of the few he's one of the few that it's in the Hall of Fame that hasn't won a Super Bowl.
Right.
So
now, get me if I'm wrong. Didn't Don Shula win? Well, he lost the Super Bowl with the Colts. Okay, he lost the Super Bowl with the Colts, but he did win a Super Bowl with the Colts against the Cowboys, right? With the Colts. And then he won then he won 2 Super Bowls with the Dolphins. So he has 3 Super Bowl wins.
Won a championship and 2 Super Bowls. It's different.
Wait a second.
72, 71, and 72.
72 and 73.
Yeah, but you can put that in there.
72
but the thing is, we're talking about the top 5. And when you say Curly Lambeau, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
So you understand my point. We're talking about highly decorated versus someone that's won a coach that's won a Super Bowl before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different. Sean Payton.
Bill Belichick is in there.
Sean Payton inherited. He one of the best quarterbacks that's ever lived, in my opinion. Drew Brees, all the way around, is one of the best quarterbacks that's ever lived. And he should have never even Drew Brees should have never even been that good. It was he was too short to throw over a line. You know what I mean? He just the dude just freaking was a student of the game. And I guess the point I'm trying to say is when you throw out all these highly decorated coaches, what do you attach them to? You attach them to the quarterback they had, right? When Andy Reid was winning at the Eagles, yeah, granted they didn't have a Super Bowl and shit, but who was the quarterback? You guys remember?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty goddamn good quarterback, right? Just wasn't good enough to get.
I got.
But Patrick Mahomes, there's no way they drafted him saying, "Yep, he is that guy." There's no way they drafted him thinking he was going to be the guy. They thought Alex Smith was going to be the guy, right? I mean, it's the same thing with Tom Brady. They thought Bledsoe was going to be the guy to get them to a Super Bowl. Turns out Tom Brady, freaking 200 and something pick, was the guy. So everybody that's my point is that
199.
Yeah. Everybody that's in this chat that says we need to draft a quarterback first round. Stop it. It's not necessarily about a court. It's not necessarily about what they're doing at the lower level. It's about what they're doing on another level. And then somebody just said Belichick. Okay. This one, I really want to address this one. Okay. So Bill Belichick.
Okay, before you do that, yeah, okay. Before you do Belichick, and I'm remiss, and for all you people, because I am a history guy, we missed one of the biggest ones ever.
No, I
champion, because I brought up Curly Lambeau, and you're like, yeah, but Paul Brown.
Yeah,
Paul Brown, who was the head coach of the American AAFC Cleveland Browns, that won 5 or 6 championships in a row. They were so good that they brought them into the NFL. And I'm apologized because that is a highly decorated son of a bitch.
No question.
Okay.
Look, I'm not trying.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I'm not trying to put people in a category. I'm just trying to say, hey, when you look at it on the newer age of highly decorated coaches, when they're highly decorated, they're attached to a quarterback that's highly decorated. I'm just saying, and they only get that way with the trenches. They get protected by their freaking offensive line, and their defense is at least decent. So you can't bring that out of a rookie quarterback that's getting their ass handed to them like day in and day out. You have to have some type of protection for them, in order to even get them to have any confidence to even be that guy. So that's my point. My point is this: like Marv Levy, for crying out loud, great coach, brought 4 straight teams with the Bills to the Super Bowl, right? Lost all 4 of them for every way you can imagine they could lose a Super Bowl. They got their ass handed to them on one of them. But damn, they lost every Super Bowl pretty much on the last possession of a game. And my buddy's a Bills fan. I freaking hated it for him. I watched all 4 of them with him. Hell, it was like, damn, do I need to put this dude on suicide watch or what? Because this is freaking getting out of hand, But the thing about it is, if you go back, so like Plunkett, think about Plunkett for a minute, okay? So he was not the best quarterback in the NFL at all, not even close. When when he won Super Bowl, right? He just had a way of making a play when it was time, you know? And to me, that's kind of Josh Allen with the Bills. You give him an opportunity to make a play, he's going to. And but if you look at it, though, all these coaches, when you say highly decorated or even decorated, are attached to a certain quarterback that was one of the best in the league. So my point being is what they all have in common. They had the best offensive line in the league as well. Jalen Hurts, perfect example, right? Best offensive line in the league, man. That's why he won.
Oh, and Sharif was saying that make sure that you post all of the comments and say, to make sure that you're because again he's got outside of Pats and Steelers went 10 years plus without drafting a quarterback. Okay, tell the Chiefs, Ravens, Chargers, Packers about drafting a quarterback. And again, remember the Chiefs were at least smart enough to go up to number 10 to get Patrick Mahomes. Yeah,
right. He's making my point.
So,
I mean, he's literally making my point. The winningest, but but what was the winning? The Vikings were also the winningest team in the league last year until they got the playoffs. It just depends on your definition of decoration.
Plan. Right. Everybody has a plan until that first punch, right? A famous quote from Mike Tyson.
Right.
So, and sure, and yeah, and I'm hate doing this, but it is 1 o'clock in the morning, and I can't remember if I have an appointment tomorrow.
Damn, it is 1 o'clock in the morning.
I got to probably, it's 1 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, Shane,
you can't go 12 years without drafting.
When you get to be your age, you pretty much have an appointment every day, don't you?
Yeah. Well, my appointment is hopefully waking up in the fucking morning. I went to, and I said this at the very beginning of the show. I went and got medication from 3 different places today. And I had a call from my cardiologist's office that said, oh, by the way, you don't owe $1,100 on that bill. I'm like, yeah, no shit, because I told you that 2 weeks ago that you could take that $1,100 bill and shove it up your ass without saying shove it up your ass. I didn't say that. I said, you need to look at that $1,100 bill and go back to TRICARE and make sure it gets paid because I'm not paying it.
You're getting billed $1,100.
I let him know that. And so TRICARE did pay.
Better than the $100,000 I got billed.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was for a TRICARE heart-related test. I'm like, no, I'm not paying that. That is something that gets taken care of by TRICARE every year. Okay, so they said no, you owe $1,100. I'm like, oh, the fuck I do. So yeah, it's long story short, I guess. So I probably got something tomorrow, and it is 1 o'clock. It's 1:15 actually now. But I enjoy having you on, sir. I will say for those that are not on, and that have not, and we already lost Ron, and Ron did come over to my show. He said, "See, how do you like me without my chain now, motherfucker?" So, so he was on my channel. Oh, and said, and then Sharif says, and this is the last thing, and I'll say, oh no, it's Kenna. Draft the tackle to move DJ Glaze to right guard, JPJ back to center, and it doesn't. Hey, we got guards and tackles on our team. Why don't we see them? Drafted them at 98 and 99. Okay, and we got Lockie. I saw how fucking big Lockie Tossi was when he was coming off the field.
That dude's a
Okay,
freak
I
monster.
saw how big he, and I
don't
said,
care
"Hey,
if he knows
Lockie,"
what he's
and he
doing.
looked up. He looked
Just
up
tell
at
him
me.
to go kill
So I'm
someone.
like, wow,
This
right.
guy, go
See-
beat his
see,
ass. That's all you need to tell
what
him.
the fucking
That's it.
yeah.
Just go beat this
That's
guy's
it.
ass.
But they-
This guy in front of you, beat his ass. That's all I
And-
want you to do.
And he will. He will. Bob, hey, thanks again, there, brother. I'm gonna
All right,
end
man.
the show. Thank you for
Yeah,
being here.
off we go. Hey, one
And-
thing I want to say to Sharif, I'm not disputing you, dude. I agree with you. I'm just putting a spin on what you said. Is that highly decorated or highest decorated? There is kind of a connection to all that. What it's connected to is a damn good quarterback and a damn good offensive line and a damn good defense. Pretty much in every Super Bowl that's ever been won. I'm just saying. The only time I think I can dispute that is probably the Broncos when Peyton Manning was there. The offensive line was great. The defense wasn't great, but damn, they made enough plays to win that Super Bowl. There were only a few that I can think of where it wasn't that way, where the trenches were perfect and the quarterbacks were freaking good. Great. You know, and so when you talk about coaches and stuff, you got to attach a quarterback to it. Pretty much every instance on how many Super Bowls they win. And a lot of time it's luck. And I think the Patrick Mahomes thing's a little bit of luck. Because I'm not sure if any team in the NFL would have ended up with Mahomes and Alex Smith going down is the only reason Mahomes started playing, and the only reason Tom Brady started playing is because Drew Bledsoe freaking went down. Because they were on their way to a freaking Super Bowl that year. So
yeah, revisionist history though. Alex Smith got injured in Washington, so it wasn't until after he left the Chiefs. Alex Smith was injured in Washington.
Who was the starter with the Chiefs then?
Alex Smith, but they were phasing him out.
Oh yeah.
To get to Mahomes. So
Right,
that's when he left to go to Washington. And he got cracked. Yeah. He was not as great as everybody and remember, he was the first pick in the draft. He was the first pick in the draft by the Chiefs.
Was number one.
Or
no,
I'm sorry, I take it back. By the 49ers. And then they got him to the Chiefs. Yeah. So
So you got to think about that for a minute. When you start anointing coaches as freaking badass, they end up with this quarterback out of nowhere that freaking turns them into a freaking what they are. But my point being is that Andy Reid already has done that several times and was on the brink of it, and then ends up with Mahomes, and then that's why that dude, to me, Belichick, without Brady's never been anything. You can look back on look back on it all you want. But the old school dudes, back in the day, Shula and all that, fuck, it didn't matter, man. They only cared about killing each other back then. You know,
I'm trying.
Who was trying. Right? So back in the day, it was only who's meaner, who's stronger, freaking that's how you won Super Bowl. You know. To be honest with you. So off we go, man. I'm gonna bounce out. I know you're trying to get out of here, and I probably should too. So
yeah,
Sharif, I don't mean any disrespect to you at all, and I understand your point.
No,
I understand your point 100%. Right.
He's not busting on you, Sharif. We're like when I said today on one of the shows with Coach, he goes like, let's talk about that football team from New York. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And he talks to me about the New York Giants. I'm like, Coach, I'm sorry, there's only one football team in New York. He's like, what? I said, it's the Buffalo Bills. And then he looking at me, what's your point? I'm like, and then the other guys on the panel said, the Giants and the Jets play in Jersey. That's it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and Sharif said no problem. So you guys will have a great conversation. Yeah, and Sharif,
sure.
I hope you get a chance to go to Navman's channel, and I'll put that off. It's Raider Shield Family 93 Navman. So you guys can have further discussion when he's on too.
I just don't know how much time I'm gonna have. I mean, it's this my life's been such a damn chaos, which has been good chaos, don't get me wrong. I mean, money-wise is good, but damn, I just haven't had time to do much of anything. But when I've had time, I've been watching film. And I will tell you this. If the Raiders decide to stick to a 12 or 13 personnel, the Broncos are going to have a problem with it, especially if they think Brock is going to be their only problem. I think the Broncos are going to struggle with that. At least till the fourth quarter, because that's when the Broncos turn into the fucking 49ers from back in the day. You know what I mean? Where they just beat your ass in the fourth quarter with 30 points. I mean, that's the way they've been playing. Yeah. So, I mean, this is what it is. Jacobi, if they were going to trade him, I would have been happy with the fourth. I would have hoped for a third. But if they got a fourth and a sixth straight out, I'm happy with that. That means Spytek is doing his job because he knows. Because he knows
with that.
If he knows he lets that fucking play out, we get nothing. If it goes to the end of the season, we get nothing because he just fucking walks away. That's a win on that trade. I hate that he's gone because that dude, hell, I met him. I met him at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, of all places, a couple of years ago. Great dude. Massive individual for a wide receiver. I didn't realize how big he was. But great dude. Loved him to death, man. I hope the best for him. And it's kind of like Max. If Max, if we can't do right by him, I would love to trade him to a Super Bowl contender at some point so he can get a ring. Because he's been the ultimate Raider since the day he stepped in the building. So I hate to say it that way, but to be honest with you, I want him to be a winner, you know, because I know he's doing everything he can to be a winner. So that's all I got.
I got you. And Bob, again, thank you, shipmate, for being on here with me. And I remember 93 Navman Raider Shield Family. I'll put this off again so you can see it. Raider Shield Family. When he's on YouTube, please subscribe to his channel. We finally got Ross Berry to come over. So at least I got one more. I need to look at how many subscribers. Not sure.
Might be more
but
than
thank
that.
you, man. And Stoffel and Kenneth say stop on Matt. Well, you know, I now the way he quantified, and I'm going to say this and shut up. The way he quantified it was if it's one of those things where we're a couple more seasons down the road. We're talking, and hopefully I'll be alive for this. If it's like 2029, and we have seen zero improvement with the Raiders, and so this is another, 4 years, zero improvement with the Raiders. Yeah. Then you asked Max, you said, Max, do you want do you mind getting traded to whichever team is on the cusp at that time? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be the Chiefs, but if it's another team like, say, the Detroit, or if the Cowboys get their shit together, you're one of those teams that's on the cusp of a Super Bowl and they want Max because Dallas wanted Max. Okay. So if it's one of those things and Max wants to go, and then, yeah, I say this, I agree with you, Bob. Give the guy an opportunity to get a Super Bowl because he deserves it, but not right away.
The conversation I would have with Max one-on-one, if I was the owner, not the coach, not anybody else, I'd be like, look, you've been a mainstay and a pillar to us trying to get where we're getting. We're not getting there. We owe you something. So we have the opportunity to get you to a team that has an opportunity to freaking win a Super Bowl. And we want to give you that opportunity. And to be honest with you, at that point, I'd be like, I don't care what we get. You know what I mean? Because it's not going to really matter. You know what I mean? If we're turning Max loose, that means it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? So it's one of those where you kind of you drop the professional freaking level of things and you just go to the human level of things, because we all know what Max. There's two things Max wants. He wants to be a Raider for life, but he also wants to win a championship. Which one's going to be greater at a certain point? You know? And then you just go, dude, I'll do it if that's what you want. You don't say I want to do it. You say I will do it if that's what you want. You know, and as a human, to me, that would be the human way of doing things for a dude that could help a team get over the hump that they need, you know? And I would root for, I don't care what fucking team it is, I would root for that team to get him a freaking ring. As long as we're not there against him. Which, as a Raider fan, he would be against us in the Super Bowl, just like Gruden. You know, that's the way it would go down with us. That's just the way it would roll. So, I don't want to get rid of Max because he could end up against us in the Super Bowl. That's the biggest reason. You know? So, anyway, I'm out of here.
I got it.
Hey, love you guys.
All right, brother. Hey, thanks again there, Bob. We'll see you on another show.
I just hope everybody understands what I mean about that.
Raider Shield family.
I just hope everybody understands what I mean by it. Do I want him gone?
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking not. But as a human, I want him to freaking get his goal. So, all right, man. I'm out.
Hi, buddy. That's Bob. And I didn't bounce him. He bounced in. So I'm going to do my outro, and I will be at 2:30. Wow, 2:30 for the show. Y'all, report to report to the barracks. Yeah, actually, go below decks, sailor. We're gonna go get some rack time. So I add different things, Sharif. You know, go to the rack. Good night to you as well, Edward. Good night to everybody here. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Remember tomorrow, Jeff Barnes with Anita Barnes on the channel. Check in for that. I think I'll have a show on like maybe 7:00. Yeah, maybe 7. We'll do that. And yeah, I got it. But yeah, Stoffel says we got a lot. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Yarg. I'm going to bed. Yarg. Take care.